Okay, we're going to go through and show you disassembling one piece off the sprue and getting it ready. We're not going to put it together right off the sprue, but I'm going to show you how I disassemble everything, separate everything, and then we'll move on to doing touch-ups in the next video. So here we go. Now the first pieces that we're going to do is the chest pieces. So what I want to do is I want to clip these off the best that I can. Now what I'm going to do, just for the sake of the video, normally I clip off all the chest pieces and I put them all together all at once. But in this case, we're just going to do one of these guys to kind of show you what we're doing. Now, with the chest pieces to the Space Marines, you have little holes here that go right together. Now, if you can't press it tight enough by yourself, you can always use some sort of flat plastic clamp. That'll help you out a little bit. I find that these things are most useful with tanks, but in this case, it should help to alleviate some of the issue with it. Now the next piece I'm going to do has to do with the backpack. So I'm going to remove this the best that I can. Now this one is going to tend to leave a little bit of a divot down bottom. So I'm going to take my little X-Acto knife and clean out this one little piece. Now somebody was asking me whether or not I found too much of a difficulty pinning on the sprue. Now basically the only two areas that we're going to have to touch up is this little piece up top and a little piece down bottom. And on our chest piece, the only part that we're going to have to touch up, we're going to have to file this down a little bit and just make sure that we don't file down into the area where the arm isn't going to be. Now when we get to doing one of the head's even easier, because as you can see, the piece that you're going to be filing is right at the bottom of the piece. So when I take this off and I file this down, it's going to be a piece, generally speaking, that you're not going to see. I may want to touch up a little bit right there, but nothing else is really necessary. Now, onto the legs. The legs are also another really good one. Because the pieces filed are on the feet where you're going to attach it to the base, and right up here where you're going to attach the chest piece. So when the chest piece goes over that, you're not even really going to see the area that we've touched. So that's also not that much of an issue. Now when it comes to the arms, however, two things I always worry about with the arms. First off, there is a rather large section comparatively to the other places where you're going to have a little piece that when you file it, it's going to leave a good section that needs to be blended in, and that's going to be the same on both pieces. Now the easiest way is just to take an X-Acto knife and try to level it smooth, and then then afterwards run a simple file over it just to make sure. Now like I said, this is probably going to be the most problematic piece out of all of them, but one of the reasons why I paint on the sprue, as you can see, there's very few pieces that actually need to get touched up after we take them off. So as far as looking at this, I'll have to touch up the backpack, top and bottom, maybe a little bit right around the arm where the shoulders go into the socket on the chest, and the two lower parts of the forearms. That's it. Now when I remove the arms, I always try to make sure that I put them into the same container. because the arms are actually important, as some of them differ in size. So you want to keep that in mind, that anything that you have that differs, you want to keep it separate so that those exact ones match. And that's it.